Hey you guys, welcome back to Michael Clarida Arts. So today we're going to be doing something really fun. You guys know that I love having fun, especially as it applies to the artistic world in my job. So in my professional job, I'm an illustrator, a toy designer, apparel designer, graphic artist, logo creator, 3D sculptor. I mean, I'm what's known as a generalist. And a generalist is somebody that doesn't really specialize in anything particular as it applies to different sections and different slots of art. You know, art directors, companies like to put you in a box, like to put you in a slot. You know, you're a production artist, you're a character designer, you're a background guy, you're a 3D sculptor, you're this, that, this, because it gives a definition to what job you are assigned to. So I'm what's known as a generalist, and that's somebody that is, you ever heard that phrase, I think it has to do, what is it, master of nothing. I can't quite remember the phrase, I'm showing myself ignorant, but it's somebody that has a lot of ability, but doesn't really have a mastery of anything. And you can argue that's not really a great thing, but in my career, I have been able to do a lot of different things. Man, I've designed toys for Disney. I've done illustration and logo work for a myriad of different clients. You know, I've designed plush, I've designed toys, I've 3D sculpted, I've done traditional painting and commissions, you know. So that in and of itself has really allowed me to be somebody that a lot of the big boys and companies rely upon to do a myriad of different things. It's kind of somebody, what is it, jack of all trades, master of none. There it is. I knew it would come to me. And I've really had a great career doing exactly that and developing different skill sets. And one of those skill sets is traditional painting. You know, back when I was in college and a little bit after, I developed quite a little side hustle. For those of you who don't know what a side hustle is, it's, you know, a job on the side that you make money from. And it supplemented our income as I was traversing my way and building my career and going up the corporate ladder. And I would do commissions on the side. I would do pastel drawings. I would do traditional paintings. I would also do mural art in acrylic. And that really afforded me to develop a certain set of skills, right? Certain set of skills that allowed me to really just expand and treat art like exactly what it should be, which is an experience and an exploration of learning. And I've really just, especially later in my career, since I've done so much digital art, you know, we as digital artists, we sit in front of a computer all day. And, you know, you sit and you do digital art and stuff, and one could argue you're not really creating anything. And that is something that is obviously a misnomer. You are creating something, it's just in a different medium. And I've always kept to my traditional roots. Behind me is my is my palette, my painter's palette, which is an acrylic. You know, obviously this isn't something, it's completely dried now. And, you know, I go through palettes like this, quite a bit, and I'm kind of lazy in effect that I don't want to clean off my palette. But what I'm really trying to get to is today we're going to do some traditional painting. And in the process, we're going to be reviewing a product that a company sent to me. I've actually worked with this company before. It's called Lepower, or Lepower, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to say Lepower because that's how it looks. And they really enjoyed the lamp review that I did. You know, I treated it as it applies to drawing and art, and I enjoyed their product. It was great, and they reached out to me after I did the video review and said, hey, if you ever want to do anything else, let us know. And I thought to myself, I said, this is my painting area, and obviously I've got two LED lights right there, but they're real cold. For those of you who are unaware of how light affects your artwork, you can go into one room, look at a piece, you can go to another room that has different lighting, and the piece will look different. The colors will be less saturated, the colors will be not really what you meant them to be, and a lot of times what happens, the same thing happens digitally. You know, you'll do something on one monitor that hasn't been calibrated, you'll send it to somebody else and they'll say these colors look off. Case in point, I have a project that I've been working on for a while for a very large game company, and their particular character has specific colors that are attached to it. And whenever you do these specific colors, if you don't get them perfect, they're going to say something. And that's inadvertently what has happened. If you don't have the same calibration on the different monitors, then you're going to have an issue. The same happens with lighting. You know, there are specific rooms at companies that are balanced for natural light. You know, the best scenario would be for you to take a piece out and look at it in natural light. So that has a balance of cool and warm, and that will give you the truest colors. You know, we're after those true colors. And that's what Lepower does in their lighting products. They endeavor to create a system in some of their lights. Some of their lights are just, you know, going to be that particular color, and that's what it is. But the light that I reviewed last time, which is sitting to the right of me, had numerous different settings that you could adjust, not only for your painting or your drawing, but also for video recording. And it's important that you know that that's important, right? We all think that the drawing is important, which it is. The painting application is important, and it is. But we always tend to forget how much importance lighting will have. So they sent me 3 lights this time, and we're going to review all of them at once because it's the same light. This clip desk lamp that right here, it's in the box. We're going to do a short unboxing. This desk lamp is called the clip desk lamp. And it's specifically designed for those of you who need to apply the light to a specific place, like a desk or possibly a piano or something along those lines. And you can adjust the temperature of the light. And I thought to myself, man, that would be really good if I set it up on my painting easel. You know, traditional painting easels, you've seen them. I don't think I have one just sitting around. I have these little mini painting easels that I utilize for different stuff, and I don't see it. Oh, it's over there. But a painting easel, if you see, is kind of like an A-frame. You stick the painting on one side, and you paint, and you can, you know, go up and down and utilize it that way. I've got mine on a desk, a drawing desk that I have, and you know, I think that this particular light would apply itself to all of those areas. You know, it might even apply to your drawing desk, to whatever. And you know, I want to make sure and kind of attach this little indication that says, hey, I'm not being paid for this. I'm you know, I received these products obviously for free in exchange. It's kind of a quid pro quo in exchange for the video review, good or bad. So if this lamp totally tanks, then it's going to be a terrible review. But if it's great, which, you know, I already reviewed one of their products, and it's kind of hard to get a lamp wrong, right? It goes through product testing, it goes through evaluation, and, you know, I think that it should be good, but you never know. So let's go ahead and we're going to set this up. Actually, I'm going to do an unboxing first, real simple. We're going to look at the product, look at the fit and finish. We're going to evaluate whether, you know, they paid attention to the details. Then we're going to move on to setting it up on the drawing desk. Then we're going to do a painting, and it's going to be in acrylic. I'm allergic, or at least I used to be. My body's changed over the past, you know, 20 so years that I've been doing painting. And before I was allergic to oil, and that really stinks because oil is really the perfect medium for me to paint with. Acrylic dries really quickly, and it dries, obviously you saw my palette, it draws really hard very quickly. And it doesn't blend as well as I would like, so eventually I'm going to move over to oil and try to build up that immunity again. But right now we're going to be working in acrylic, and we're going to be evaluating the Lepower clip desk lamp. I've already opened one of them just to kind of take a look, because a lot of times I don't like going in blind. You know, because, you know, sometimes words come out of my mouth like, oh man, or crap, or snap, or something like that. And, you know, that's not something I want to have in the video. So, and here's the lamp in its wonderful brown box. Very utilitarian. You have, you know, some 2-color printing with the item on the side. Nothing spectacular. Again, utilitarian meaning it serves the purpose for packaging and protection, but it also, you know, displays the product in a positive way. I've seen better packaging. It's very rudimentary because what are we going to do? We're going to unbox it. It's a lamp. You're going to throw the box away and call it a day. My apologies if the sound is a little bit different and a little tunnelish because the microphone that I had on there previous actually had a hum to it, so I'm going to have to grab another microphone off of Amazon. If you recommend anything, let me know in the comments as far as microphones go. But packing, very simple. This is pretty much everything. So you've got the user manual, the clip desk lamp user manual, and it's eco-friendly. So they're very conscious of their packaging, making sure that it's minimalist. They don't have too many products on here. They don't have a bunch of foam. I mean, there is foam here to protect the black finish on the lamp itself. But overall, I can definitely respect their eco-conscious philosophy. So we come to the desk lamp, Lepower. The model is the AS-0102, available on Amazon. I believe this one's about 15 bucks and change with shipping. Color temperature, it gives the color temperature in terms of, it looks like K, 300K, 4000K, 5000K. And then the voltage is a 110. It's about 330 grams, rated at 4 watts. So 4 watts is not a lot. You figure a standard light bulb is, you know, your 60-watt light bulb. So this does not draw a lot of power, which is really awesome. What's really cool, and this is one of the things that I didn't realize whenever I got it, it says USB as well. So it's 4 watts. You can plug it in. Basically, over here I have the other Lepower lamp that I have that has the USB slot on the side. So you could probably plug this in to a powered computer, 4 watts. Typically, the output on the port is going to be 5 watts. So you could probably plug this in to a computer, and it also comes with a small little power brick supply, which is convenient with a little LED marker showing that it is on. So let's go ahead and take off some of the packing materials here. Take the sleeve off. And here's the lamp itself. So I'm going to leave this plastic on just because, actually, let me see if I can get it off. Before it was a little difficult. I had to cut it off. And that seems, well, they had to get it on, didn't they? So it's that sound. I'm not a huge fan of that sound, that plasticky sound. Okay, it comes right off. So again, minimalist packaging. You're like, wait a minute, Michael, what is this? So I first opened the other lamp and I was like, oh, pretty cool. And then I look at this and I'm like, is this Christmas bows? Oh, they're putting Christmas bows on things. I love Christmas. No, this is has to do with whenever you place it on a table. So if you were to clamp it on a table, down here you have these, I mean, the clamp by design, it's called a lobster clasp. You know, lobster, or clamp, lobster clamp. So, first of all, it's padded, so you can put it on a table that you actually like. So, in addition to that, it has this metal mesh, which protects your table whenever you clamp it on so you don't mash these fins into the wood and cause a problem. That's pretty awesome. And then it's got a laser debossed logo for Lepower. And the hinge is very nice. It's not made of garbage. It looks like it's stainless steel. And you can, it looks like you can actually tighten. No, I was going to say an adjustment for the clamp, but it's just basically a standard hex nut. And the cable is very nice. It's very well made. And this is a flex arm, so you can flex it and turn it the way you want. You could probably apply this as well to a workstation. If you're going to do crafts, if you're a model maker, or if you're doing watercolor and you want to have a really close application of light, you can do that. And of course, you can stretch it out to its maximum. I'm looking at the overall construction, and I'm giving it probably an A. I haven't utilized the lamp for any length of time, so I don't know how long it's going to last. I'm not really sure if you can change the bulb in it either. You know, if we go in and we start wrenching on it, I don't really know if you can do that. With LEDs, they last a long time. It's one of those things where, you know, you change an LED bulb in your house and it says 15-year bulb. If this lamp lasts 15 years, I mean, for 15 bucks, $1 a year plus 4 watts usage, the amount of light you get out of it is pretty substantial. I did plug it in. Here's the interface to where you can turn it on, off, very clearly marked. The plastic is high quality plastic. I do see a few areas where the mold, little catch, you know, whenever they take it out of the mold, and you can see just the fit and finish is, you know, they probably need to sand that down or clip that to make it look a little bit nicer. Every time I see things like this, I think, oh, if they just take a little hobby knife, you know, and just do that, even if I were to take my pocket knife, you know, and just sit there and maybe get a little, yeah, see that? That's all it took. Yeah, see? And it looks perfect now. It's perfectly smooth. That is a, that is quality control, QC, you know, little cut right there, makes it look very nice, fit and finish. It's got nice weight to it. The buttons clamp nicely. This is the up, this is the down for lighting intensity. Then you have temperature, you have hot and cold. And then of course the power button right there. Again, very minimalist in terms of packaging. And the paint job is nice, no overspray. And the clamp, like I said, is really tight. And you've got this padding right here that will alleviate, hopefully, any damage that you might have if you were to put this on a piano or something like that. So I'm interested to see what I could plug that into, because it is a 4-watt lamp. I mean, plug it into the computer, plug it into an alternate power source. I am seeing, however, if you look from the factory, so let's go ahead and unplug this. You can see the USB is a little tilted. So if we just bend it a little bit, just slightly. My thing is this technology is old. So where are we going to be in the next 3 years, you know, when everything is going to USB-C? So anyway, that's the unboxing. Let's go ahead and do the setup. So here's the setup that I have currently for my painting station. So I've got it on a drawing desk. Typically I will use a easel, which is sitting over there in the corner. But today, just because I like having the natural light in front of the window, I've set up a drawing pad. Now this is typically my painting station. You can see my painter's palette right here with acrylic paint. It's dry right now. Obviously this particular palette is ruined. I did this after a recent painting, but I wanted to show you the setup where I've got these 3 lights. You can see that I've got them clamped here onto the drawing desk. This is just a typical drawing desk that you might find, you know, maybe on Amazon or maybe on Facebook Marketplace or maybe at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I think it really works well for my application, but what I want to focus on is the placement of these 3 lights. So because these lights have flexible arms, I'll go ahead and turn that away. They have flexible arms. It gives me the option to position these LEDs in a way that really contributes to natural lighting. Now I do have it in front of the window, and that's going to kind of blanket the painting area in the proper light that I need. But what's great about these Lepower lights is the fact that I can go in at any point in time. If I can go ahead and show you this, I already showed you this. This is the power activation switch, and you can see it's got the power, intensity up, intensity down, and then it's got the temperature. So if you look, you can see that as I press that button, it changes the lighting effects on the paper. So you have a nice cool light, which is more or less a fluorescent blue. Then you have more or less a natural, I'm sorry, this is the natural light right here. So we have an orange, a yellow light. Then it goes to a more natural, and then of course the blue. So I like to keep it on the natural setting for these 2 lights. So these 2 lights on the side will have natural setting. And then up top, I've got a blue. This is more of a blue spectrum, because what that'll do, go ahead and get the focus on. There we go. What that will do will really just give me the proper lighting adjustment, because I've got the two naturals, which is more of a yellow, and then in a balance, and then I've got that top light, which is a blue. And you can see it gives just such a nice warm hue, you know, of the light to really cater to what I'm going to be doing. So this morning I'm going to be just doing some drawing using my sepia Koh-i-Noor. Let's see, this is in focus. There we go. We can go in here in the light. This is just my sepia crayon. You see that I've already kind of I've started. You can see that I've started. But what I'm trying to show you basically is in the setup. There we go. In the setup, these lights really are great if you want to use them maybe to clip onto your easel or onto a drawing desk, or you know, maybe even if you want to use them whenever you're reading. This particular light has so many features to it, and I just love it. I mean, I hate to say that I'm a lamp guy, but I am. And I mean, even going so far into college, I designed a couple lamps and created them, which was pretty cool. So let's go ahead and start drawing, because I want to show you just, gosh, you know, the setup initially, and then going on to the drawing process and showing you how these lights really help whenever I'm you know, here at my painting and drawing desk. So let's get started. And here I am at the drawing desk. So what's really cool, like I said, about these lights is I can reposition them as needed. You know, if they're inhibiting my my viewpoint of the canvas, or I can actually go in and I can rotate these, which is really nice. So there's a lot of things you can do. I know it's just a lamp, but whenever I find something again that works, that really applies itself to the drawing process, and this obviously does, you know, I can reposition the light. And what's nice over here, like I had explained before, it's got this little metallic mesh that protects the edge of my drawing desk. Let's go ahead and turn that a little bit. Go ahead and have that around here. Okay, so, I mean, gosh, you can't ask for anything better. You know, if I were to sit here and I'm painting, I'm getting the best color saturation, because again, I can change the temperature on these lights to, you know, to have that natural light. And ultimately, at the end of the day, natural light's the way to go. But today, we're going to just be doing some drawing using a sepia-toned Koh-i-Noor pencil. And these are a little bit harder than I would like. I am working on newsprint today. So, but what basically we're going to be doing, we're drawing some birds. You guys know that I love drawing birds, right? And there's nothing like, well, I think I like drawing birds because, first of all, to me, the simple shapes, you know, in terms of design language and how I perceive, you know, animals. Animals to me are, how do I put it? They're complex, but, you know, I'm always learning something super new whenever it comes to animals, whether it's the construction of the animal itself, or the attitude maybe it's trying to convey, or, you know, whatever I try and put into the animal in the drawing. But I love animals because of the fact that I can break them down to simple shapes. And birds in particular, they're just, I hesitate to use the word easy, because there's nothing easy about drawing. Let's be frank. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way just a little bit. Let's be frank. Drawing is hard. I don't care. You know, for me, it's always been a struggle. You know, throughout my entire career, drawing has just been hard. Now, I am standing today, and that also needs to kind of be brought up, because it depends on how you position your palette and how, you know, you're used to drawing. You definitely want to have your best foot forward, per se, in terms of how
you know, you have your setup. You don't want something inhibiting you. Now, obviously, bending over this whole time is not really great. So I'll probably end up, once I start getting into the details, because this, again, is just a sketch to show, you know, the prowess and the versatility of these lights. Now, this is a review of this product. They did send me this product for free. So one of the things that I love about being in the position that I'm at, not only do I get quote unquote free stuff, but it's not free. So that's the caveat. I remember watching YouTube videos and looking at all the cool stuff that people got, and I'm like, I want to be that. I want to do that. And here's the deal. There's nothing for free. So I basically have to do a video, which takes time. It takes effort. It takes, you know, to edit it. And it's not free. You know, the lights that they sent me, I think I said they retail for about $15 a piece. And, you know, at the end of the day, whenever I have this entire drawing in, and whenever I have all the time spent in editing, it really balances on their behalf. So I basically get to review their product, and they've said, you know, make sure that you review the product in the way that you deem fit, and you make sure that you have a completely unbiased review. Which, let's be honest, somebody gives you something free, you want to continue to get free stuff. And I'm being real as a YouTuber. You want to continue getting real, you know, free stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to make sure that you understand that these were given to me kind of in exchange for a video review. And they want to be able to use this stuff on, you know, in advertising and stuff. So there is a quid pro quo. You know, you do the video for me, then I will send you free stuff. But it's, again, not free. So what I'm drawing today is puffins. So I remember in college, I had a fascination with animals in general. I just love drawing animals. And birds in particular. You guys know that I love birds. But puffins, I don't get it. You know, maybe there's something inside of me that needs that affirmation or confirmation or whatever you want to call it concerning fowl, you know, wildlife, birds. I mean, some people draw cats, some people draw dogs, and I've done all those, but birds in particular, I just love drawing. So going in, you can see I started out simple shapes, basically blocked in. You know, have that roadmap. I talk about that roadmap a lot. Getting the gesture in, getting where stuff is supposed to be placed. You know, I am using reference today, and I'll show you that reference here in a minute. And I want to make sure and you know, obviously give the reference its due, but also, you know, maybe change it up a little bit because you don't want to be a slave to your reference. But on the other hand, I did like the picture. That's why I chose it. Here's the back end of the animal right there. Okay, so now I'm at that stage when I start thinking about construction. Placement of the items, making sure the foot's in the right place, making sure that, you know, you can stand and have the weight and make it look correct. So what I'm doing now is I'm going back and I'm just placing, you know, these footholds where I think they should be in correlation with the reference. So, yeah, what I'm doing, I've kind of messed up the beak here. Puffins have very interesting beak structure. Like I said, this particular sepia block, I guess it would be called, is not soft at all. So I'm kind of struggling with some of the areas here because it's not really giving me what I want, but we'll make it work, right? It's important too to stay loose. You know, even whenever I'm struggling, I'm still trying to learn something from the process, and you know, it won't do anybody any good if I'm sitting here being frustrated with my drawing. So, as I explain what I'm doing, I'm still having some fun, right? That's what you want to do. Have some fun. Okay, as I completely mess up the neck area, and then I completely screw up the anatomy, and then you're like, what is, that's not a bird, what is that? I, of course, am joking. Alright. Beak area here. A couple fine lines as we go in. Anyway, getting back to the whole YouTube thing of people sending you stuff, quote unquote, for a review, and you know, as a professional, I want to make sure and be honest, because you guys would obviously know if I was like, ooh, this is the best lamp ever, please send me more stuff. That is never, ever going to be me. I don't ever want to be that person that's like, you know, send me stuff and I'll give you a positive review. No. If your product does not live up to, first of all, this description. Second of all, if it doesn't live up in terms of quality, then no, there is no reason to recommend the product. Case in point. These Koh-i-Noor sepia dark brown that I got, I don't know, paid 64 cents for them, but these are not that good. They're not soft enough. And I didn't get these for free. But even if I did, no bueno. Maybe as I get into it and start blocking in a little bit better, I'll get a better result. Because at the end of the day, these are not good. They're just so hard. You know, you want something soft. You want to be able to put it on its side and put in some media, and maybe I'm not pressing hard enough. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to go ahead and give it the college try. Maybe that's what it is. As I'm pressing harder, I'm getting a better result. Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. A little bit of contrast. Yeah, much better. As I press harder, I'm getting a better result. I don't know if maybe it's because I haven't used these in a while. Maybe they get dried out. I really don't know. So going back, trying to figure out where all this stuff goes. Maybe have a flower down here. Maybe have a flower down here. Maybe a flower down there. So you can see, even though I've blocked in the majority of what I want to do, so I'm going to go back and start getting in a little bit of value. And I'm starting to go back and put in some of those harder contrasting lines. I'm starting to get a better feel for the drawing. Whoops, I went right through the paper. That's what happens when you push too hard, you moron. All right, yeah, I'm not. Here we go. He's looking up at his buddy. What's up, Holmes? What's up, yo? I'm pretty sure he does not say that. Okay, so I've kind of blocked this guy in right here. I'm pretty happy with that. As you see, I've got artist fingers. So let's go ahead in and start positioning some of the values. Got that really nice shadow that comes down. Now, obviously I said don't be a slave to reference, but this is pretty close to the reference. So what I can do, and this is something that I encourage you to do as artists, you know, people that are looking to kind of expand your way of doing things. And I've done this in past. I've done it in drawings. I've done it in my professional career. You know, the animal can be the base, right? Can be the base. If you're interested in kind of expanding your creative horizons, you can always do something a little bit different. Whether it's add some item, you know, maybe he's a adventurer, maybe he gets a little hat, right? And he's got a cowboy hat. Or I'm just trying to kind of think outside the box. Maybe they're on an adventure and they got a backpack. You got a backpack, right? Right, that would be fun. A backpack. Maybe he's a transformer and he's a robot in disguise. Robots in disguise. Transformers. I used to watch Transformers all the time. I was kind of overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed whenever they did quote-unquote a live-action interpretation of the Transformers that went from being in the cartoon world to, you know, Michael Bay and that whole incredible movies. I remember seeing those going, holy moly. And then I got to do some work for Transformers. These feet are crap. Oh, man. Okay, so I need to... This comes out and down, and this comes forward. I have an inner dialogue. Do you guys have an inner dialogue too? Because whenever I'm working, it's like my inner dialogue comes out. And of course, you know, you get to hear that, and some people are like, man, you talk too much. You need to shut your trap. You know what I say to them? You can definitely keep commenting because you're probably right. Okay. Anyway, inner dialogue. So I'm working. And my inner dialogue's like, oh, that sucks. Oh, what are you doing? You suck. Oh, wait a minute. That looks pretty good. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I remember why I'm doing this. Oh, wait a minute. You suck again. That happens. That happens to me. So again, you know, I talk about the lights because, you know, this is part of the review. This is the light review. And this is, even though I'm drawing, I want to make sure... do that video. So the lights are performing well. I mean, literally at the end of the day, I'm drawing if I want to go ahead and position this in, if I need to see something a little bit better, and they're stiff enough. They've got stiffness. And if they're stiff enough, you know, they'll stay put. Even if I hit it, I'm like, you suck. Oh, wait a minute. It's not the light that sucks, it's me. And what's cool too is you can turn them. So you turn them, and they keep the position you turn them in. That's pretty sweet. And they're not hot. I mean, they are warm, but not like a typical light bulb, incandescent light bulb. These are LEDs. That's what I'm doing now. I'm avoiding this foot down here because, let's be honest, it needs some work. What school did you go to again? I went to school of shut your mouth. Just kidding. What school did you, who trained you how to do this? Who told you? Man, you need some work, dude. Okay. Yeah, this one is bad. This foot is bad. Let's be honest, it's bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little hat. No, this foot is bad. This foot is like borderline. Needs to go to have a foot operated on because this one is terrible. Okay, this one kind of goes like this. And this one, and then it kind of fans out right here. So we're not doing any color today. My apologies for that. Just in terms of time, just ran out of time, so I decided to go with a little sepia tone, a little sepia. It's in the sepia. And it's not really sepia, is it? It's kind of a brown. Sepia is brown, but it's got a warmer. Yeah, I mean, look at the other one. Are they the same color? Oh, it's dark brown. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm looking at it going, it's so dark brown. Why is it so? Oh gosh, why? I don't get it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold the phone. It is dark brown. This movie is so bad. I keep avoiding it. You ever do that in drawings? You're like, oh, I'm going to work on the other stuff that looks better, and I'm just going to avoid everything else that I see because, that part sucks. Okay, I was going to put flowers, but I don't think I want to do that. Maybe some rocks. Some grasses. It's a little rock. It's going to have a little rock right here. Maybe it's got a little friend. It's got a little friend right here. Maybe some friends. They're all having a nice party. They're having a rock party. Yeah, a little rock right here. Maybe some foliage. It's so nice. And as we come down here, we're going to do this and have a little leaf. And yeah, we're going to do this. It's going to be so pretty. Okay, so light source. Right now the light's upper right-hand side, probably right here. So I need to go ahead and match the light source on the other objects that I've created. Little cast shadow. Okay, so this would be what I would refer to as a study. Isn't that funny? It's so funny whenever I do a lot of drawing, right? And whenever you're in the process and you're doing stuff, and you're like, well, this is turning out pretty good, and then you get people that come by, and whether it's a loved one or a colleague or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's a nice drawing, and it kind of keeps building you up. That self-talk that I talked about earlier, telling yourself you suck, that's not something that I recommend. But it is, a critical thing that you need to practice. Practice telling yourself you suck. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the self-talk, right? And as you progress through, then you kind of breach that threshold of whether or not you're going to decide to show somebody, or if it's going to stay in your sketchbook, or if you're going to develop it further, or whatever the process that you go through to land on a drawing that you develop further. This could actually be a nice underpainting for a painting, an underdrawing for a painting, excuse me, and I would consider this a quote-unquote study. This is not something that I would, put on the wall. This is not wall-worthy. And you say, well, it's art, right? Art. Isn't all art wall-worthy? No, it's not. Not for me. I'm not going to put certain pieces up on the wall that I think are, not great. I want to invoke some type of emotion. So let's go ahead. I'm going to give him... All right. So as I go through, I'm like, do I want to keep it al natural? So here's the reference for reference. Okay. Props to the person who took that picture. I don't know who it is. I'd have to look up there. It's March 2019 whenever I downloaded it. So that's 4 years ago. Again, making reference. If I were to go and develop this further, this would be quote unquote a study. A study is something that you do as a progression of drawings to end up on something. So this would be a study using reference, and then I would change the position I would change the overall feel of it. I do like the composition, that kind of triangular composition, but maybe I'd have his head turned to his left and have his head tilted a little bit more, and maybe go in and position things a little bit different, because even though the draw or the reference is good, I don't want to utilize the reference and just translate it to a drawing that I would potentially go forth and do something with it without giving the photographer some type of royalty or something like that, because you're using it as, if you were to sell the image. But as a study, it is perfectly okay to go in and educate yourself on, on anatomy. I'm going to have this. This is kind of a bush coming out. On anatomy and how the birds look, and because you can't go out as maybe somebody that's developing as an artist and travel to where these birds live and take your own photo reference. So either purchase reference, if you're going to use those, purchase your own reference and use the pictures wisely. I know right now there's a big stink about AI art and how AI art utilizes existing drawn images to create new images. And that in and of itself is kind of crappy. And you definitely don't want AI art to come in and quote unquote steal your livelihood. It's important that we as artists stick together and we always put our best foot forward to perpetuate the business. So, hats. Do I give them hats? Do I give them backpacks? I think so. So let's go ahead and we're going to give him a backpack. Okay. Okay, gotta make sure. Okay, so we're gonna have a little strap coming around. Okay. Comes around. Let me color that in. Shade that in, excuse me. There is no color. Okay. Again, changing it to suit my narrative, right? These are traveling birds. They definitely have their own type of character. I love puffins, like I said before. So we're gonna have a shadow on the bottom here. Okay. Shadow on the bottom here. Okay, then we're gonna come here. Okay, backpack. I've got that song in my head from Dora. For those of you who have children, you know what I'm talking about. So he's got a backpack too. So they're on adventures. Yeah, sometimes my ideas work, sometimes they do not. Let's be honest, that's pretty standard in every area of my life. Sometimes my ideas rock, sometimes not so much. But what I do like, and I encourage you to do the same thing, especially if you're a digital artist. That neck is terrible. What is going on here? Oop, I went right to the paper again. I've destroyed my drawing. Okay, hat. What kind of hat? Cowboy hat. Man, adventure hat. Fedora. Let's go ahead and... What do I do? No. Okay, so I'm gonna go like this. Okay, so whenever you do stuff like this, obviously I'm kind of going off the cuff here. So I don't have any reference for hats in front of me, so there is a potential for me to mess this particular aspect of it up. So my apologies if I don't live up to your expectations. Okay, here we go. So now, yeah, here we go. This is what I was looking for right here, baby. Okay, go ahead and bring that out a little further. I've drawn it up. There I am, touting my prowess. Look at me, I've drawn hats. Oh crap, that looks like Dookie. Okay, that shadow needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, this is darker. Okay. And this guy right here gets a hat. Why not? There's still time to make mistakes. I'm trying to be funny. I hope that I'm succeeding. If not, my apologies for my bad dad jokes. My kids get so embarrassed. Not only that, you know, the dad dancing. Holy moly. I can't even move. I can't even wiggle my foot without my kids being embarrassed. Dad, stop it, stop it, stop it! I'm like, when the music plays, baby, you gotta let the rhythm move you. Let the rhythm move you. Okay. So I'm turning the crayon on its side, the sepia block, and just to get a little bit softer, because it's that whenever it's on its edge and I push too hard, I go right through the newsprint. So, little professional tip, newsprint is good, but it's very thin and soft. You guys know what newspaper feels like. That's all it is, basically. It's newspaper. So as I go in and I'm trying to do this, let's go a little bit darker back here. Okay, light here. And maybe darker over here. Anyway, so yeah, newsprint's very fragile, so if I go in and I push too hard, it's going to go right through it. What's nice though is, since it is a little bit harder, it is lasting quite a long time. And it's always good to last longer. Especially whenever it pertains to art supplies. I remember, gosh, in college, I went through a sketchbook a week. And I would go through, paints, oil paint, because I used oil paint. And oil paints back in my day, whenever we had to actually milk the paint cow. I digress, I'm joking. No, we didn't milk a paint cow. We had somebody do it for us. We gotta have a little strap across the chest, a little strap across the chest, maybe. Because that's what real hikers do. They got that strap right there. Strap's good. Yeah. Little buckle. And it cost a lot of money. I mean, you're looking at each paint tube was $9, $10, and you're spending a crap load of money whenever you're a student. Unless you've got mommy and daddy money bags, which I did not. Shadow right there. It costs money, and it's nice that this particular unit is lasting a little bit longer, even though it is hard as a rock. Okay. So, you can see the lights performed. They didn't blink. The temperature was great. Composition, go up, go up. And mountain range. Puffins typically will live on cliff faces. Here, one down. It's little clouds in the distance. It's so good. Yeah, so they perform flawlessly, of course. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't really mess up a lamp too bad, can you? Unless it catches on fire. And I think these are all UL certified. And for those of you who don't know what UL is, you look on the back of electronics, you look on the back of whatever, and it says UL. UL is the Underwriters Laboratory. You're going to get some science today. Underwriters Laboratory. And they go through testing to make sure it's not going to burn your house down. Well, that's nice of them. Yeah, it is. And whenever it has that stamp, that's a big deal. I think these have UL. Let's make sure. I might have spoken too soon. It might be on the documentation. Oh, it might be on the plug. I don't know. You know what's really cool too is the fact that it's USB. They USB and standard power block, and it does come with a power supply. No, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It comes with a power supply. So let's look. Yay! So this has a different certification, and probably for world, it's got ETL, European, which is the European equivalent of UL. As I completely lost my, where did it go? Power! And power. Yeah, certain regulations, be able to sell in different countries, you're going to have different regulations, and they definitely have all of that. So be secure in knowing this lamp is going to burn your house down. Okay, so this is the drawing that I have for you guys today, and the review. This isn't going to be a solely review channel. I know that I've done a lot of reviews lately, because I like free stuff. I'm kidding. Remember, this isn't free. I have to... Quid pro quo. Quid pro quo. Come on. Get with it. No, this is not free. This is a quote-unquote review. You have to actually do stuff as promised. And, if you have a product or if you have something in mind that you want me to review, I'd be more than happy to look at it, as it has to apply to some type of aspect of drawing. Right? If you send me... Let's see, I don't know, headphones. Headphones I could review, because again, you could, what's the best option for artists, headphones-wise, for noise cancellation, for any of that. Computers, obviously, if it applies to the drawing process, then yes. Tablets, yes. Lights, yes. Stuff like that. So, you're like, wait a minute, are you trying to get more stuff? Not really. I mean, I got plenty of stuff. Guys, if you were to see my studio, yeah. Maybe one day I'll do a review of my studio. Okay, so that's it. So this is my drawing and review of the Lepower LED light. Again, here it is. You can press it. It's not hot at all. Not hot at all. It's kind of warm. It's cold outside, so I can use this as a snuggle buddy? So it's a snuggle buddy too? No. Do not put that in your pants or anywhere else on your person. It is a light. Alright, that's the drawing. And that's the review and the drawing process for the Lepower clip-on LED / piano clip-on light. There's a lot of names for it. As I sit here, I'm looking on the Amazon website, and currently on the Amazon website it's $17.99. The list price is at $29.99. So definitely look for deals, look for coupons, and you might be able to get it for even cheaper. So what did I think overall? I thought it was great. I thought that it definitely would be a great companion. Studio companion for those of you looking for lighting solutions. We as artists typically will focus so much on the creative that we fail to see that we need to concentrate a little bit more on the space we create in. That's important, right? Having the correct lighting, having the correct seat. I can't tell you how many times I ran into problems whenever I was in the studio, you know, in the corporate studio, and the chair that I sat in was garbage, and the lighting around me was garbage. And then whenever you're sitting there evaluating Pantone colors and looking at the Pantone colors, and you have to go outside continually, you know, that sucks. These lights have 3 temperature settings, from warm to neutral, which is a combination of the warm and blue, so you can get a great balance of the color saturation you need in your projects. And it being an LED, and you can plug it into your computer, it's only 5 watts. Typically, your chargers and stuff that you charge, cell phones, maybe not cell phones, maybe some earbuds or something, those are all 4.55 watts. So you can plug this into a computer that has a power port, USB 3.2, and you should be able to power it. So overall, like I said, I thought they were great. You know, if they weren't, I would definitely tell you. And at that particular price point, you could buy 3 or 4, and it would equal maybe the price of a fancy incandescent lamp. Lighting, again, is important, and we as illustrators and artists need to make sure that we get the best. If not, I don't want to say marginal, because some of us can't afford the best. You know, I remember in college, I couldn't afford the best paper. I couldn't afford any of that. I did what I could, and I used the tools as I needed, and I focused on the process and the skill set needed to accomplish what I needed to accomplish to get the jobs to be where I'm at today. So the light is a tool, right? The Conti crayon that the sepia. See, I thought it was Conti crayon. See, that's probably why I didn't, you know, put 2 and 2 together. It's a sepia block. The sepia block was quite hard, but this isn't a review of the sepia block. So definitely go and draw something today, right? Go and have some fun. I know this was a review, and it was a review of lamps. Let's be honest. Who gets excited about lamps? You know, it's not a computer, it's not a tablet. But it's just as important, especially if you're utilizing it in a studio form factor like this is today, you know, using it to draw with. And how much can you say about something that doesn't inhibit you from creativity? Whether it's a computer, whether it's a tablet, whether it's a phone, whether it's a light, whether it's a sepia block, or a Conti crayon. Whatever it is, make sure that it doesn't inhibit your creativity, because you are the one doing the work, right? The computer doesn't do the work, you do. So go out and draw something, have some fun today, and definitely like and subscribe if you like what you see, and we'll see you soon. Oh yeah, and if you're interested in the lamp, there is a link in the description. I get nothing from it. Nothing. I'm just trying to provide, you know, an ease of pathway if you're interested in the lamp. So thank you guys. We'll see you soon.